All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Chodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing His truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. Now, excuse me if it's windy outside, so I'm currently walking home from work. But I wanted to readdress this whole thing with Nate saying that Ezekiel 38 is going to happen in the kingdom of heaven, because he went way off. And furthermore, his congregation have no idea about both of the 1,000-year period. Now, the scripture that Nate tries to use, he tried, which the word try means to fail, was this breakdown right here. Okay, Ezekiel chapter, this scripture right here is what he tries to use to basically try to say that in the kingdom of heaven, we're just gonna, set Edomites free, and they're gonna go out to the four corners of the earth. They're gonna deceive the nation. Again, that happened already. Okay, Satan going out to the four corners of the earth, north, east, south, and west to deceive the congregation. That happened already. Okay, so here, right, in Ezekiel 38 verse 7, right, it says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them." Now, this is concerning Gog and Magog, which originally Gog and Magog was that was Japhetic land, okay? But now you got Edomites dwelling in those particular areas of Gog and Magog. Okay, so Edom, Esau, he predominantly has control over Gog and Magog. Okay, and if you look on the map, right, you see that Gog and Magog is down in a Russian area. Okay, so it says, right, Ezekiel 38 verse 8, "After many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword," right? "Thou shalt come back to the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste." Okay, and if you notice, it says it has always been waste, because what makes the land of Israel wasted or desolate? The fact that the true people are not over there. Okay, in Isaiah the first chapter, let's just get it real quick. Because the true Israelites, which are the so-called Negro, Latino, or Native Indians, is not back in that land, because the land is not being ruled by the Lord's laws, statutes, and commandments, that country is basically desolate, because you got a bunch of heathens living over there, worshiping idols, and doing all manner of wicked and abominable acts. Okay, let's see. It says your land, strangers devour it in your presence. Let's see if I can find that. Okay. Okay, so okay, Isaiah, right? Chapter 1, verse 7. It says this: your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire. Okay, your land, strangers devour it in thy presence, and it is desolate as overthrown by strangers. You see? So it's as desolate as overthrown by strangers. Okay, the land is desolate because the Lord's ways, the Lord's people is not in that land. Okay, so let's go back to Ezekiel 38. Okay, because Ezekiel 38 is not going to happen in no kingdom of heaven, you know. Because again, the reason why we went into captivity in the beginning was because we sinned. So in the kingdom of heaven, right, the Lord said that Israel shall be all righteous. That means even the 2/3 of our people, when they come back in the kingdom of heaven, you know, they're going to be in their right mind. Okay? They're going to be perfect. Okay? So they're not going to sin. So what reason would there be for Esau, for the Lord to raise up Esau just to attack us in the kingdom? Don't make any sense. Okay, so Ezekiel 38 verse 8, after many days, thou shalt be visited in the land. Yeah, thou shalt be visited in the latter years. Now right here, it says the latter years, right? Now, what is the latter years talking about? That's talking about the last days, okay? Because when you look into the term latter years, it is affiliated with the end or the last days. So let's see who the end or the last days is affiliated with. Let's go to 2nd Esdras, chapter 6. Okay, 2nd Esdras, chapter 6, verse 7. Then answered I and said, what shall be the parting asunder of the times? Or when shall be the end of the first and the beginning of it that followeth? So the end of the first is also affiliated with the end of the first, which is also the last days. And he said unto me, from Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau. Why? For Esau's the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So the latter days, it's synonymous with Esau being the end of the world. So in this generation, the Lord is telling Ezekiel, the Lord is telling Ezekiel what Gog and Magog is going to do. Okay, and we're in those times where Ezekiel 38 is going to be fulfilled. Because you see, when World War III begins, it's not going to just be America or NATO at war with Russia. It's going to be the so-called Israelis too, who is also known as Gog and Magog in the Holy Scriptures. Okay? Okay? So he said, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau being the end of the world is affiliated with the latter years spoken of in Ezekiel. Okay. So let's come back over here and let's read Ezekiel chapter 38 verse 8. Okay, it says, after many days thou shalt be visited, in the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of many people, and against the mountains of Israel, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. Okay. And thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Okay, so, you know, those small hats, according to this biblical prophecy, they are going to be attacked by Russia. Okay. Now, when it said that thou shalt ascend like a storm to cover the land, that's talking about an invasion. Okay. And the interesting part is that all of these nations, they're pretty much, you know, there's a lot of nations that are allying themselves against the so-called Israelis. Okay. So that land is going to be invaded. It's not just America. You see, that's why in Jeremiah 50 verse 45 it said what? It said the least of the flock shall draw them out, right? Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. That's actually going to happen in this generation, okay? Because the land of Israel is going to be made desolate. Through nuclear warfare, because there's going to be a nuclear war, and the main targets of the nuclear war is going to be America and the land of Israel. So it says, thou shalt ascend and come like a storm, thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land, thou and all thy bands and many people with thee. Thus saith Yahweh, it shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go to the land of unwalled villages, I will go to them that are at rest. And this is talking about you know, Babylon getting invaded by Gog and Magog, which is Russia. Okay. So the whole point of this video is to prove that Ezekiel 38 is not going to happen in the kingdom of heaven. Okay. You know what? Let's go to Isaiah, the 2nd chapter. Okay. Isaiah chapter 2. Okay, now check this out. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established at the top. So hold on. Okay, let me see. Oh, I'm getting our house here because it's freezing outside. Okay, so Salakia, I'm back in the house, which means I have to speak quieter now because there might be brothers in the house trying to sleep, so okay. So as I was saying before, okay, Isaiah, because you see, in the kingdom of heaven, there ain't going to be no more wars going on. There ain't going to be no more fightings, no more strifes. There ain't going to be no more of that in the kingdom. Okay? So, let's start at Isaiah chapter 2, verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of Yahweh of Jacob, the power of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. Now, is that happening? No, that's going to happen in the kingdom. And we will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of Yahweh from Jerusalem. Okay, it says, and he shall judge among the nations. Okay, and he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war any more. You see that? Neither shall they learn war any more. So here it is in the kingdom of heaven. It's going to be peaceful. Ain't going to be no more wars. But somehow, Edom is, he's going to break this prophecy. And he's going to go out to the four corners of the earth, try to get nations to come against us. Here it is. We're going to be going through another clusterfuck. Like you got to be out of your goddamn mind to think that in the kingdom of heaven, here it is. We're a bunch of perfect, sinless beings, but we're somehow still going to be taken down. No, you see, the kingdom of heaven is an everlasting kingdom. It is an eternal kingdom, and we ain't never getting taken out of power ever again. Okay. So, nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So this further proves that Ezekiel 38 is not talking about in the kingdom of heaven. Because in the kingdom of heaven, nation is not going to learn war anymore. Okay. As a matter of fact, let's go to Jeremiah, because Jeremiah 31 cuts that breakdown that Ezekiel 38 is going to happen in the kingdom. See, Jeremiah 31 cuts that. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 31 verse 31. Let me see if there's anything else. Okay, so this is Jeremiah 31 verse 31. It says, behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Okay? Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith Yahweh. You see that? So let's read verse 33 now. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. Now when it says the house of Israel, it's not talking about just, Judah. Okay, Judah. No. Okay. Which Judah would represent the southern tribe, Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But the house of Israel is literally talking about the whole nation. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days. Okay, it says, saith Yahweh, I will put my law in their inward part and write it in their minds, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know Yahweh. Why? For they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith Yahweh. For I will forgive their iniquity, and I will remember their sin no more. You see that? So all of Israel is going to be righteous in the kingdom. Okay? The Lord raising up Edom, and I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but some guys just don't get it. They hear something and then it's like, la 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 da da, But the reason why the Most High Yahweh raised up these different nations to take us out of power and to put us into captivity is because we sinned against him. The reason why we're in captivity today is because we sinned against the Lord. Okay, so it says, let me see. Okay, so that was pretty much it. So Ezekiel 38 has nothing to do with the kingdom of heaven. Ezekiel 38 is going to happen on this side, because there ain't going to be no wars in the kingdom. So, that's pretty much all I had to say. With that, I'm going to say shalom. So on to the next one.